I've been going to the gym 2 to 4 times a week consistently for the past few years, lifting weights and eating healthily, but I'm just not seeing any muscle gain. What am I doing wrong? Now, first and foremost, just being in the gym with that sort of regularity is already going to give you 9/10 of the health benefits of training. So the longevity, the increased bone density, all of this goodness that we hear about, just being in the gym and lifting with a decent intensity is going to give you all of those benefits, regardless of whether or not you say you're not seeing any muscle gain. First thing we need to look at is what are the major driving factors of muscle gain. Now, there's a few, but they all pretty much boil down to the same thing, and that's lifting weights with what we call progressive overload. Progressive overload basically means that you're challenging your muscles by lifting either progressively heavier weights, the same weights for more reps and sets to within a certain amount of reason, and we'll get into that, or the same weights, the same reps and sets, but in a smaller time frame. This one isn't necessarily progressive overload, but it will lead to progressive overload. So when we're going into the gym, even if we're in there regularly, we're working out, and we're working out with a decent intensity, if we're not necessarily paying attention and being mindful to the weights we're using, the sets and reps we're using, and even the movements we're using, and the regularity, the sort of frequency we're doing those same movements, we're not necessarily guaranteeing that we are adding additional stress, adding that progressive overload to the muscle. The body's quite lazy. It will adapt to the work you're doing, and one of those adaptations is muscle growth. You give it a reason to adapt and the muscle will grow. However, if you continue doing the same type of work, the same weights, the same reps, the same sets, it'll kind of peak and it'll plateau, and it will just say, hey, I don't need to make any more adaptations. Adaptations are hard. Let's just leave it there. The quickest hack we can sort of implement here is get a notepad, get a pen, start writing down the reps, sets, movements, rest, and weights you're doing, all those variables you can control. You start looking back and you say, hey, I did 5 sets of 10 reps last time I did this workout at 60 kgs, let's say it's the bench press. Now we're going to control for all those variables like our rest time, the actual movement we're doing. We're going to look, we're going to say 5 sets of 10 reps at 60 kgs. Well, this week I'm going to do 5 sets of 10 reps at 62.5 or 65 kgs. Rest the same, do the movement in the same way, so it's, you know, it's a real controlled experiment, but this time I've done more. And when you add up that 5 kilo, 2.5 kilo, whatever it may be, over them 10 reps, over those 5 sets, so 50 sets total, the total weight you've lifted, this is what we call the intensity of your workout, has gone through the roof, and your body then has to adapt to this new stress. This is where muscle growth happens. This seems really simple, and it's kind of something that we all know, and it's all really intuitive to anyone who goes in the gym. They know they want to be lifting progressively heavier weights. What happens is though, what happens so frequently, and the pitfall that trainees fall into, is they're not actually paying attention to the sets and the reps we're doing. So I've got 5 sets of 10 on paper, and I'll come in, I'll do my set of 10, I'll rest a little while, I'll do another set of 10. Next time it's a little bit difficult, I only hit 9. Next time I hit 8, next time I only hit 7. But I just write 5 sets of 10 in my diary. Next time I come in, I know I did 5 sets of 10. I add a little bit more weight to the bar. This time I go 10, 9, 7, 6, 3. And even though I've added weight, if you total up all those reps I did, I might have added weight to the bar, but my total weight lifted is actually reduced. So what we need to ensure we're doing is we're actually hitting those rep goals we set ourselves before we add weight. And this is why tracking those sets and reps and weights is so important, because then you're not guessing. You know exactly what you need to do next time based on what you did last time, and you're not kidding yourself that you did more than you thought you did last time. So start tracking those sets, start tracking those reps, start making sure that rest time is nice and consistent, and then when you hit your target sets and reps across a workout or across a movement, go up incrementally. The other pitfall people fall into is they try and add too much weight too soon, and that total weight lifted again just drops off. If you half the amount of reps you're doing but you haven't doubled the amount of weight, then you're not really progressively overloading. So small increments and track those sets and reps.